Peace, what up? It's your boy here. Y'all know what I gotta do. Gonna go through these little steps right quick. They get everything like it is, like it should be, because this thing always makes me have to do this. What up? Your boy Mar. These brother Disha. Uh from this long day of work. Um so yeah, I just wanted to kick up with y'all about about a few things. I think what I want to start with is just a thought about jealousy and envy, um, and how it disrupts the relationships between um, disrupts the unity of black men or black women or black men and black women getting together. Um, so there are a lot of things in our life that we decide that hey, we're gonna work on, right? We decide that we're gonna try to find things that's gonna help make us better, that's gonna help make us more productive, and we we set out to do those things, and we have people in our lives, that we like to share our hopes and dreams with, our ideas, and some of us are celebrated, right? Or sometimes, I'm not gonna say some of us are celebrated. We all are celebrated at some point, but there are times though that we are met with this sickness of envy, of jealousy from those that are around us, the people that I'm pretty sure, a lot of us, when we hear friends or relatives accomplishing feats, I'm pretty sure a good bulk of us will celebrate those people's accomplishments, and them making it in this world. Now, me myself, I'm the type of person who will celebrate even the accomplishments of people who I'm not very fond of. Why is that? Why wouldn't you be fond of people? Guess that could be looked at as some form of hatred or something, right? I don't. I don't think so. We don't get along with everybody. We don't get along with everybody, and even when you don't get, meaning when we don't, because we don't get along with them. Excuse me. Because we don't get along with them, it doesn't mean that we can't be happy for them when they attain a goal, um, achieve an accomplishment, um, or whatever pushes them up in life, somewhere in life. We should all be able to look at that and be happy. At least I think, because that's how I am as a man. I'm not one of those people who, because I don't like you or because I don't get along with you, that I want you to fail. I don't. I never want to see you fail. In fact, I want to see you succeed more so because we don't get along. Um, because that to me, I want to see you achieve, and I want to celebrate, be happy for you. When we don't get along, because at least it gives to me, from my perspective, it can give it can bring a balance to the relationship. You know what I mean? Um, you have those things where you can clash with people, but to see them make it and be happy for them, that can bring about a balance. And even if they see that you're happy for them, um, that can help to quell some of the tension. Um, And it's not false happiness. It's not, you're feigning some feigning joy for that person. No, you honestly, I'm always happy for people, who make it. But to get back to what I was saying earlier, not everything happens like that. Even the people that you smile with, the people you laugh with, the people you try to enjoy life with on the daily. If you're wanting to attempt something, to try something in your life, it can cause some troubles for people. It can cause some things inside people to rise up, and it can cause that hatred to rise up in that person for it to see you want to do something better, to see you reaching for something better, or maybe it's because they feel like you don't deserve to be doing it. I don't know what it is about jealousy and envy that can cause a person, because I'm not a jealous person, I'm not an envious person, um, that can cause a person to want to have some issue or some grievance with how you moving along in life. Um, so I don't know, what y'all think about, the idea of jealousy and envy. And another thing, I think what happens is that with jealousy and envy, just to add on to what I was saying, what I think happens is that with jealousy, it will cause someone to say, "Hey, you know what? I'm gonna jump on." You ask someone, "Hey, man, can you help me do this? Can you help me do that?" And they say, "Yeah, I'm down. I'm down." And that envy and that jealousy in them, knowing that they're not gonna say, "Hey, man, hey, um, when it's time to do it, they're gonna be there." But they just want to give you that little bit of hope so they can hold you, pin you down, or feel like they're pinning you down when it comes time for you to move to move on that certain task that they agreed that they will help you with. I think it's riding. It's a very riding position to take when you have someone who's doing their best, and they ask you for your assistance, and you tell them that, yeah, I'm gonna help you, and then you don't do it. Like you're leaving them high and dry. It's really sick. It's really sick. Um, it's a sickness that I see so great among Black people. I would say, but to speak, I see it really from Black men a lot. And I hate to say that because this show is about Black male advocacy, but there are some things that, as Black men, we really sincerely need to work on. And that's one of them, in my opinion, is working on our thought process. It seems like as Black men, we're always late to the party. And what I mean by that is that, of course, we love the party, but I'm talking about the real party, the party of growth, the party of maturity. It seems like we're having an issue there when it comes to us, trying to build together. Um, and I believe it's new. I believe this is fairly new within the past, maybe, and this is not going to sound new because I'm about to say so many years, within the past 35 to 40 years, especially after, a lot of our accomplishments were destroyed. A lot of our growth and the things, that seeds that we had planted, hoping to build and make a life for ourselves in this country, in this society. That excuse me for that. That a lot of the things that we wanted to do were destroyed, uh, um, or pardon me, I'm losing my thought a bit. That a lot of the things that we had accomplished, building communities in Florida, Tulsa, Oklahoma, creating schools, organizations like the Black Panthers and the Nation of Islam and the Moorish Science Temple, Marcus Garvey's movement, Black Star movement, UNIA, I'm sorry. Those things, the way that we had those things destroyed, taken from us, ripped from us, it seems like Black men have sort of regressed in that trust in one another, building with one another, loving with one another, understanding that we're really still all we have. Because the thing is, they have given us money, riches, and wealth, and things like that to chase that makes us have us looking elsewhere and all over the place, other than within ourselves for our growth, other than to our brother next to us for our growth. There are things that you see happening with Black men today that it just wasn't like that. So, like I said, I believe it's something that was new. I believe it's something that is fairly new within the last few decades, that Black men have lost the love and trust for one another, and we've become envious, and we want to be the big chief and all of those things once they place money in our hands or the attainment of wealth at our fingertips, that we seem to lose focus on what it is that we were here to do, what it is that we've done, and we have kind of disavowed our unity from that. Excuse me. But y'all let me know what y'all think. I think my man Dr. Pulled up. Peace, brother. You there?
Yo, what's happening?
What's going on, man? You good?
I'm good, King.
Yes, sir. Nah, I was just talking about how jealousy and envy can have damaged a lot of the growth that Black men well, and not it didn't damage the things that we made, but it has damaged our ability to remake those things and rebuild those things. Now, because of us having our attention diverted with wealth, having our attention diverted with wanting to be number one or the one that's on the top. When we were so unified in so many areas that even when we had different sects, we still never warred with each other. We may have had our differences in ideologies, but we never warred. We never not wanted to see the Black Panthers, the Nation of Islam, never not wanted to see the Black Panthers accomplish what they accomplished. They never not wanted to see Martin Luther King accomplish what he accomplished. They may have disagreed with the method, but they didn't try to keep him from. And the only reason they disagreed with the method was because of him moving closer to the white man. But other than that, brother, what's going on?
Not much.
Not much.
Not much.
What's the deal? What you got? Anything new you want to talk about before we jump on subject matter?
Not really, man. Just piggyback off, what you were talking about.
Mm-hmm. I'm sorry. My fault, brother. Yeah, there's something. You there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, go ahead. You said piggyback what I was talking about.
Yeah, it's interesting, talking about our plight here.
Right.
And the multiplicity of ways that we can talk about it, like how we can see so many different angles and so many different concepts, actually talking about our plight, you know what I mean? And it makes it interesting, because I think we will have to have a sort of understanding in order to reconcile or deal with our issues or deal with the system, and I think all too many times we talk about our reality, we get impatient with just
Yes, sir.
talking.
Yes, sir.
And from my perspective, been in conversations with many people about, our status here in this country. And it's like we don't do ourselves a service without actually communicating who the enemy is, and the mechanisms in which the enemy chooses to attack us.
Yes, sir.
And I think it's important that we do discuss it.
Yeah.
But
Absolutely.
we dismiss it.
Yes, we
Uh,
do.
we have a way in which where we love to just blame ourselves.
We do.
And so that's a conversation that needs to be had like way more in depth. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Give me a second. Let's see what he trying to do. Riz got two. Okay, he got one up now. Let's see. Riz, you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay, my man. Yeah, Doc over here. We over here kicking it. Go ahead, finish what you're saying, Doc. We listening, brother.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like I think we could have, even when we talk about racism and white supremacy, how there are those that don't believe it is what it is, or don't. I don't want to say it is what it is. Don't believe the way in which I might see it,
Right.
right? But it does do we deny that we have issues? And to me, it shouldn't matter the name we call it,
Right.
because the name we call it is just that which represents the status here, and more importantly how we got here, and most importantly how it is maintained. So I think those things, that's what's on my mind.
Okay. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Riz, you got anything, man? You want to before we jump into this topic tonight? Anything on your mind, brother, that you want to kick about?
No, I have nothing to add at this point. But thanks for having me. Happy to be here.
All right. Yes, sir. No, I think I sent y'all a link earlier. No, I think everybody saw. I don't know if you saw it, Doc, or not. It was a brother who was talking about
Yeah, I experienced that, brother.
fatherhood being. Is that what you talking about?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Go ahead.
The fatherhood being a social construct.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
Wow.
man. And when I first saw it, man, I felt, brother. I swear, I felt so bad for that brother, man. Because you could see like, oh, her brother don't have a father. He doesn't have a man in his life to help him. In fact, what I think I'm gonna do, I think I'm gonna look it up on YouTube while we're talking about it, and I'm gonna post it in the chat. So if anybody want to see it, they can pull it up. But it was so fucking sad, and then it was like to see our brother get owned like that, man. I mean, just talked to like he was just a little wimpish ass child, man. And the brother said, the brother is just a biology class away from not being a simp. I was just like, God damn,
That was terrible
man,
business right
that
there.
was fucked up, man. I was
Yeah.
like, man, that shit was crazy as shit. He said the brother is just okay. I did the wrong shit. Dumb me. Said the brother was just a biology class. Yeah, see, and then it was just like you just looking at it like, damn, like man, this cat here, man, he talking about okay, yeah, I'm about to grab this link, man. I gotta copy this link because it's just sad, man. Because the brother was just so adamant about being right, and then he couldn't even explain himself, properly, to where, okay,
I mean, you don't have to explain yourself from that sector. It's just
you know,
it's totally unnecessary. And what are we doing that? We don't need facts and evidence. We just need my personal experience of what I think today.
my man said, because I know God. My mother, see, if my mother would have knew she was God, and the brother said, then he tried to be smart, this hood logic, like my man was saying, the hood logic, and he said, the brother said, well, men, we carry the seed, we plant the seed. And the brother tried to come back with, so a sperm is not a seed. The seed is not like a tadpole with a tail. I don't know where the fuck he was going with that shit. I was just like, God damn, man. These cats are like really dumb, man. You know what I'm saying? Just and they play off the emotion. He wanted to call my man all type of bitches, told me to beat his ass. Then when old boy invited him out, like, come on, man, we can have this debate, and then we can box. Then the nigga said, "Oh, what you gay now? You a fag? Like you gay? You want to try to fly me out? And then you want to talk about you want to box, man? What type of punk ass shit, man? It was just terrible, man."
I mean, not to demean women anyway, but that's what happened when you just argue with women all day or talk to women all day. You just always your feelings. Feelings rules all.
You don't have no manhood about you, man, and that's what it is. You and like my man said, if only people that would listen to him is women, and they will worship him with donations. I was like,
Yeah.
damn.
But not just women, it's like single mothers. It ain't even just all women.
Yeah, it'll be just some sick. It's just some sickly shit going on, man, with our brothers, man, and we do gotta buck the fuck up, man, because we just getting shitted on, man. Right now, I mean, like right now, a lot of these brothers are out here just putting themselves in position to lose, man. You know what I'm saying? Like these niggas asking for the ball at the 3-point line with their back to the rim. But no, I want to jump into this topic. And I call it honoring thy father, but the real crux of it is our elderly black men disrespected. And the reason I wanted to go with this is because I was listening to some stuff today. I hear people talking, and it seems like the only thing that elderly black men are good for is being sugar daddies.
I was about to say, pay a cell phone bill.
Yeah, I was just about to say, yep, being a sugar daddy, paying somebody's bill, or dying and leaving, hoping that people hoping you die and leave them some money. They're not even acknowledged for their wisdom anymore, or their knowledge anymore. No one picks elderly men's brains. We have it. I've seen so much disrespect for the older gentlemen that come into the barbershop, and it's like, man, you want to, people are just, they won't even speak to the brothers, man. The brothers that walk in and speak, and some of them won't even speak, man. The children at the gas station, they just cuss, unrelentingly around older gentlemen, man. Older people, but older gentlemen for sure. You may get somebody to say, "Oh man, stop cursing. It's a lady in here." You know what I'm saying? But when it's an elder black man, they don't give that respect. Um, Dr. Ari, what is your take on the disrespect of elderly black men, and where do you believe it come from?
Well, first of all, you know, I don't think you're elder because you're older.
Okay.
Let's be clear. You're elder because I can learn from you. You're elder because you are imparting wisdom and knowledge, information that could be useful for the youth or, those who are younger.
Okay.
Um, there, again, there is a disconnect between um, our elders, our elders, period, and the youth. Um, there also doesn't seem to be a respect coming from the elders to the young,
Yeah.
right? So it's like it goes for me. It kind of goes both ways, right?
Okay.
So there's no handout. There's no departing information into. There is no relationship. There isn't one there between the younger, our young, and our so-called elders. There isn't anything there, and so when you don't have a relationship and we don't have community, then everything could be seen as ridicule, criticism, ostracizing, judging, stereotyping, and different things in that way. And that's kind of how I see it. It's just a complete um, disconnect. There isn't any respect because there isn't any relationship.
Yes, sir. Riz, from the last show, you had mentioned not seeing, well, yeah, 2 shows ago, you had mentioned not seeing grandfathers in the schools anymore. Um, what value, from your estimation, do grandfathers bring by being present in the community and like you said, at the schools?
Mhm. Yeah, that's what I was going to say. It's not just total disrespect; it's devalue. And I think a grandfather would bring a ton of value because he would bring that wisdom. But if we're talking about grandfathers, I don't think black men at all, at any level, are valued. And I'm not saying like in the victimhood; it's just you're not used to it. Because
Right.
when I made that statement, I'm starting with the grandfather. Because a
Right.
lot of women will say a lot of things about, I got a bad man, or all these dudes that I had are terrible. Well, you didn't
Hmm.
let your father vet any of these guys. He was not
Right.
part of the vetting process. You moved out of your parents' house just to hide all your dirt.
Mm.
And you wonder why that happened. So, okay, granddad ain't there. Then you don't want to be with the dad. Then we don't have any teachers. Like, when is anybody under the authority of a black dude? Because
Yeah.
we're not in corporate America
Mm,
in that way
mm,
or in
mm.
managerial positions. So to answer the question, like a grandfather can bring ton of value if you sit and listen, and if he is a dude with some knowledge and wisdom about himself.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, um, back to what Doc was saying about it being like this complete disconnect um, between the elder and the young. Um, what are some things, and just to get to that, what are some of the things that you think that the older can do to connect themselves with the youth, Doc? What is it that let's say us and older need to do to connect ourselves with youth? What is it? What's some of the methods you think that we could take, steps that we could take to make sure that um, we build a healthy alliance between us and our younger brothers and and sisters as well.
I think just becoming active. Like when I was teaching, um, one thing that I would love to do is just be present. I used to like for the like I would play basketball with them. I wasn't good like I was in the past, but they see me as a human being or kind of maybe an older version of them. Somebody that they can reach out and touch. Somebody that they were familiar with. And they were able to let their guards down because our children are dealing with so much. They're dealing with a lot of stuff, man.
Yeah.
In house, in their community, in their schools. You'd be surprised to understand the trauma that a lot of our students are dealing with or our youth is dealing with. So
Yes, sir.
knowing that, I can elbow a little dude in the chest, like, watch out. And then he smiled at me, and later on the day, he elbowed me back. That ain't sizing me up. That's filling me out.
That's it.
Like. So a part of it is just becoming active in everyday life experiences. Without judging. Like I want to tell a story about Red, our own boy Red, coaching. He got the coaching job at King High School, and he was telling me a story about like how he was the linebacker coach, and so
Okay.
he got 11th graders and seniors that they pretty much know what they're doing. They've been coached up for a couple seasons or whatever. But he a new coach, and you know what that's like being a new coach. So he said all he was gonna do was take the young guys, right?
Right.
He said he got 11 to 12 graders in these drills, but I'm gonna take the young guys. Like, oh no, you want your feet like this. You want to make sure that you attack with this leverage. You want to do this. You want to slide this way. You want to, right? And what
Yes, sir.
what did the 11th and 12th graders do? Say, oh man, he know what he's talking about. And then
Right.
they began to ask him for information. So he was intelligent enough to make himself presentable, right? To be there in the moment and understand how he could be perceived. Because that's a lesson for him to understand. Like he could be perceived as a know-it-all. He could be perceived as the new coach who's just want to tell us what to do or whatever. But why did he have that information? Because he was once a young guy. He was once a young football player. So a part of it is empathy. Um, Being able to connect, being able to present ourselves in real life situations, right? When you was out there on the football field with the young guys, right? Making yourself available, right? So becoming active, doing something, right? But not necessarily judging, right? Not necessarily judging and critiquing. We can get to judging and critiquing later, but how are you going to judge and critique or teach somebody who don't respect you, who you don't have a relationship with, you don't have that connection with, right? So my thing would be being empathetic, understanding that they're immature, understanding that they're dealing with all sorts of traumas, some of which we dealt with, some of which we've never known. Being available, patient, showing discretion, right? Those are some of the virtues and characteristics that we learn as we get older. So since we're learning them as we get older, we should be empathetic to understand that they might not have these virtues yet and understand that type of energy that comes when those virtues are absent,
Yes, sir.
right? I remember the minister saying one time, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, he said, when I walk into these schools, they straighten right up.
Right.
Well, wait a minute,
Right.
why are they straightening right up? They might not be Muslims, they might not don't have any connection or any parents to the nation of Islam. Well, why are they standing up? Because they know him. They know what he's about. They've seen him. And right
Right.
now, our elders are not seen. So if they're not seen, they're not understood. If you're
Mm.
not understood, you're not respected. If you're not respected, then what are you going to tell me? I don't know what you have to offer me. Because
Right.
see, our young is in survival mode. We're in survival mode. And so right now we're looking at things a lot different. And so I think we need to be able to be present, um, to be understanding and empathetic, right? I think those are the things that we have to do. It's really simple, just being there and becoming active.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Riz, you have anything to add to that?
What I would say would just echo a lot of what he said. Being present. You know, I was thinking a couple of days ago something along the same lines where you know when we were growing up, when we were kids, you can have three generations of people in the same room. We all watch the same movie, the same
Right.
television show,
Mm.
the same stuff, the same reruns 50, 60 years old. We can all
Right.
listen to the Isley Brothers, three generations. Today,
Yes,
that's
sir.
not the case. So if you're in a room eating together, watching television together, listening to music, you're there for those small moments. And
Right.
like when your female cousin hits you, and all the women say, "You bet not hit her back," but your granddad said, "Hey, you man enough to put your hand on that boy? You get man enough to
Right.
get hit. Don't
You get
put
hit
your
by that
hands
boy.
on him. Don't put your hands on him." So moments like that, that'll have a little fella looking at you like, okay, I got an ally. Somebody's on my side. And then
Yeah.
when you present, don't be there trying to smash everybody's mama, because that's what another thing young cats will see. You got a brother around. It could be
Oh
a
wow,
coach
yeah,
that's
yeah,
smashing 5 or 6
yeah.
kids' mother
Trust
on
me.
the team. You know, and that's the thing when you're talking about the minister. He show up and everybody's, they straighten up when they see him because you don't have no scandals of the minister messing with chicks left and right.
Right.
He's always talking business. He's always respectful. He's always respectful. He always looks presentable. He looks like he's on business all day, and he's
Oh,
coming at you in love, and he's never judging, like like Doc was saying. So just being present for a lot of that and trying to be close to the kids and be available. Yeah, I'm 100% about that.
um,
Let me
go
hold on.
ahead.
Let me say one thing to what Riz was
Yes,
saying, and just a semantic because I understand what Riz is saying. Not absence of judgment,
Hmm.
right? Because we do want to judge. We want to get to the point where we can judge. But and I learned this from Adisa, not condemnation.
yeah.
Yeah,
And I think, I know I just wanted to clear it up semantically. I know where you were
yeah,
going, Riz. I
yeah.
just want to say it like that, not condemnation. Because I remember I was in the situation and I called Disa and he was like, brother, we don't do that. That's not what we do.
Mhm.
You wasn't supposed to do that. And that was a judgment. And it was supposed to come from my brother. It was supposed to come. He's not condemning me to anything, but he's letting me know he has a place in my life. He has a responsibility as a brother and as a friend, to hold me accountable. And that does come with judgment. You know what I mean? So what we have to get to, what Riz is saying, we have to get to that point to where we able to accept judgment.
That's right.
You understand what I'm saying? And so I think that's just wanted to clear that up semantically. That
Man, you're
Riz, that's
right.
primarily what you were saying, right?
That's what I'm saying all the time. When I say judgment, I'm
Yeah.
thinking of what does a judge do? They're going to
Hmm.
issue a
Punishment.
punishment.
Yes.
They
Yeah.
will condemn you to prison. So folks use the term judgment so lightly because you're
Yeah.
giving your opinion.
Loosely.
I'm
Yeah.
giving you an opinion.
Yes.
I'm
Yeah.
just
Hmm.
giving you what I think. I'm telling you how I ascertain the situation. I'm not judging you.
Right.
I'm not saying I'm gonna stone you to death. That's not what we're doing. That's a judgment. You know what I'm saying? I'm just telling you, like, hey, this is what's up. This is what I see. So yeah, you're right. Thanks for clearing that up. I appreciate that. Because a lot of folks listening in won't get that because they think you giving your opinion and actually giving a judgment is two different things. They think it's one and the
Right.
same. They think those are some sound synonymous.
Right. Yes. Um, I was gonna say, I was watching. Um, well, now I'm big. My wife being from Gambia, so now I've gotten into a lot of the Afrobeat music, right? And I ain't gonna say I got into it. I just because it's I've always been into music from our culture, but the Afro beat is a relatively new genre to me. Um, uh, it's not so much that it's different from our music, because it isn't. It's not different to so much as different being different from reggae. But you hear um, a lot of um, new rhythms and things like that. So, which is really awesome, right? But the one thing I noticed is that in a lot of the music videos, and I asked my wife about this. I said, "Babe, I noticed in a lot of music videos, they always have elders sitting in the music videos." I'm sorry, I can't get this camera on point for shit today. Um, but I said they always have the elders in the music videos with them. They got the elders sitting there. While they're singing the song, while they're performing, the elder may be singing a song with them. Um, there you go, Mr. T then dropped in. What's going on, Mr. T?
What up, though? My
Yo,
bad.
bro, what's happening, bro?
What's going on, T?
Yeah,
So I noticed that, and I noticed that even in the videos that the elders they're not pushed to the back. They're projected. You can see that they're admired, that they're adored in the videos. Even what I'm saying, that they have them in the
Yep.
videos. When you have a lot of
Yep.
them, and I think that to go back to what you were saying, Doc, about the disconnect, I think this is where we're having our issue in our community, where we're not filling, like you said, filling out what it is from our elders and our youth. The elders not filling out from the youth what it is that we're not getting that love, that respect, that adulation, that support. The youth are looking for support. They're looking to be supported. The elders are looking for respect, and so we're not getting that. And I think that's one of the things that I found so beautiful about the Afrobeat, a lot of the Afrobeat videos, is that you have that connection there. What is it that you, and I want to, Mr. T, you knew, so you got to get in on this. What is it? What do you believe that even with the current state of hip hop right now, and this new music that's coming out, what is it that our elders can do to support the present artists, and even those that Mr. T look like he on two different? Let me see what we got here. Okay, so he up here twice. Okay, there we go. Did you hear? Could you hear me, brother?
I heard you.
Okay. So, what is it that the elders can do to support the youth, even today? What is it do you think that they could give them that can show the artists today, the athletes today, to show them that they have their back, and that there shouldn't be this young versus old bullshit going on?
Understanding.
Yep.
Okay.
Understanding. Being able to understand their perspective. Being
Yep.
able to understand their experience. And not looking at them as if their experience is nothing based on what we've already been through.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? So, and that's what I hear from, that's what I've always heard. Like when me and bro was coaching kids, you know what I'm saying? We had a thing, and my brother's keeper. And I would always tell them at the end of every practice, listen, I ain't no better than you. You ain't no better than me. The only thing I ask you to respect is my position and my experience. And know that I can talk, you can talk to me about anything.
Okay.
And that's it, man. Just letting them understand that you are some damn body.
Right. So do you think that the youth should offer to try to understand where the elder is coming from as well?
Definitely. It's a two-way street. But it's one of those situations where you're gonna get that once you give that.
See?
We're in a
Yes,
place
sir.
where it's beautiful. The kids don't give no fucks. I don't care. I'm doing me. You don't like it? So what? We were there too. You too old. You don't understand what's going on. We were there too. So being able to understand that you've been there, you should be able to deal with that.
Mhm.
Right.
And that's all.
Remember when you knew not, right?
Yeah, it's reciprocity. That's all it
Remember
is.
when you knew not, right? Right. Okay. Doctor, not Doctor. I'm sorry, Riz. What do you say, brother?
Yeah.
Is there? Are we missing something? Is it something more than understanding that we should offer to our young in support?
I mean, like you said, that just sums it up, having some understanding, just being there. Just it's going to be a two-way street. You have to understand that they're not going to understand. That's what you need to understand. Because I know
Yeah.
when I talk to kids, I tell them all the time, I preface every conversation with the youth with, you're not even going to hear me for 12 more years. You're
Right.
not going to understand this for another 12 years. You're not going to get it. So just understand that they're not going to hear you today because, again, I know where I was. And I thought I knew. And it took
Yeah.
time and it took some experience to kind of get to that place. I'll just
Just
echo what T.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, just to give you just to back up what y'all are saying. That's all I was gonna say. Just to back up what y'all are saying. Last night, I went to get some fish from Captain Jay's, right? And I don't like corn milk put on my fish, so I asked him to cook it in flour. And so I get there, and I'm like, I see this young lady, and I swear to she gave everybody this deadpan ass look. Like there's about 4 of us at the register. She look at all of us like that. And she don't say a word and just turns around and just start moving. She's not calling out orders. She's not saying who's here for this. She just started moving and looking at tickets. Then she go in the back and you see her grab her phone from up under the register. And she start looking at her phone. And she come back out. Then she pull her mask back up and she don't say a word. And then it's a brother who's on the customer side with behind me. He's trying to find people orders for, like, all right, who is this for? He's asking this. Who's here to pick up this? And so I finally say, hey, sweetie, hey, listen, I ordered the whiting cooked in flour, right? So she goes in the back, she asks him, and then she comes out, she's making it. She still hasn't said a damn thing to nobody. And I say, all right, look. I say, listen, come here, baby. Because she come to the register, and I'm getting ready to pay. I said, listen, baby, look, here's what you got to do. I said, first of all, when you see your business like this, and I'm talking to her in this tone, so nobody else can hear me. It's just between me and her. I said, greet your customers. I said, because just looking at them and walking away, they're going to feel disrespected or feel like you're being neglectful, and you're going to cause your job to lose, or your boss or manager, whoever this is, to lose business. And I said, that's going to cause you to lose your job. So she's like, She listening now. You know what I'm saying? I said, listen, babe, I'm not coming down on you. I'm just trying to help you out. And she understood. And I hope, what I'm saying, because when I walked away, I heard her, greet the person that was behind me. But no, it is that connection, that understanding. Sometimes, we have to realize, like, the children that we're coming to meet, or we may come up against in any kind of way. And I hate to say it that way, but that we may meet face to face. They hadn't had the education, the teaching, the raising, the training to in order to deal with a lot of things. So yeah, I totally agree.
Yeah, they've been off the grid, bro. They've been off the grid, and their grid has been devices.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they're not outside riding bikes. They're not outside interacting with people. They're not outside, hooping and all of this. They're not doing that.
Yeah.
Let me add one more thing to that before we move on. Like Doc said, you want to add some clarification. While we're here to give them some understanding and support, we got to also let them know that outside of us, while I'm here and giving you this time, nobody else cares. Because outside of us coming to talk to you, the world don't owe you understanding.
Right.
And that's
Right.
going to be the truth that you're going to live the rest of your life.
Right.
So if somebody is trying to give you some wisdom and drop it down on you, pick it up because the world does not owe
You
you
should pick it up.
understanding. Yeah,
If
because
capable.
nobody's going to care that your mama had it hard or you didn't have shoes or you upset today. You're going to be
No.
expected to perform and contribute. We don't owe you
Yeah.
understanding.
Yeah. No, that's
Yeah.
100%.
Before we move on, I want to address. I want to give my take on this. There's a set of artists who came into the existence for me, who sort of saved my life. I rarely talk about them. Right? It's the native tongues.
Okay.
Them as a collective, tribe. I wasn't the biggest Tribe fan, so I'm not about to sit there and be like, "Oh my God, Tribe Called Quest." I wasn't the biggest Tribe fan, but the self-expression, how they wore their hair at the time, the Jungle Brothers, but it's really De La Soul.
Yes, sir.
De La Soul was the group at the time that was dressing funky. It was like nerds. It wasn't the message, because I don't want to fall into that category where we can thumb our nose up at so-called encoded messages of positivity and all that. That ain't, hip hop the rap part of hip hop is a reflection of the society that we living in. Either us talking about it or the aspirations to garner success, right? So it's De La within the native tongues, and then there's a group that's near and dear to me, and it's Arrested Development. And the reason why it was Arrested Development is because it's around the time I was introduced. Or maybe a couple of years earlier, I was introduced to the Marcus Garvey Center as a summer program, which I always say, kind of helped change my life. So the question was addressing, we talking about Afro beats, we're talking about hip hop culture. Why does it seem like we have elders that are like placed on a pedestal or that are always right there? Right. Well, it encompassed the African culture.
Yes, sir.
So when we look at Arrested Development, they had the elder who was a part of the group. He was a part of the group. You
Yes.
understand? And so in African cultures, when you go up to speak, you ask the elder in the room. Sir, I didn't hear you.
No, I said, just 1 second. He's stepping. Go ahead.
Keep talking.
Okay. You asked the elder in the room for permission to speak. It was that respect. But in the culture itself, they were not disconnected, right? That part of it was in unison. So we must understand that when we dealing with hip hop, where hip hop came from. What was the social political landscape of the United States of America when hip hop was birthed? Where was the social programs, right? We must understand that we were dealing with a lot of economic issues. It's welfare, it's the oil embargo of 73, we're dealing with things in our own social environment that led to the hip hop and the evolution of hip hop into a culture. So when we're talking about the elders, right, the elders wasn't there. Hip hop was what was created in the ghetto in the Bronx, I believe West Bronx. Um, I believe it's the West Bronx. Um, and then it sort of metastasized all over the world, right? So when we talk about the elders wasn't there. When we talk about fathers in the home, I'm not saying that fathers wasn't father, and we understand that there's that's a myth, but were the fathers in the home? So we talk about welfare and what welfare did to the black family. That's a part of it. So when we hear rappers uh, say that the Bronx was burning, we understand that what was going on economically, they was burning buildings for the insurance money. So when we look at shows like The Get Down,
Mm.
that was playing on Netflix, that's kind of like a portrayal of what was happening, gangs, so and territories, and right, and then we go in from maybe a decade and a half. We have what we have the cocaine epidemic. So now we're talking about drugs and things like that. So when we talk about the elders in the community, we must understand that the reason hip hop became a culture is because there's a shift. There that fatherhood, that protection, in which the Honorable Louis Minister Farrakhan breaks down of like fatherhood as being a covering. Well, there was no cover. So it's a reason why the Afro beats and that culture deals with the elders in a certain manner. Well, we must understand that hip hop came because there wasn't a cover,
Right.
because we were different, and this is what we have to have a proper. And I'm not here to say that my perspective is the proper way, but we have to have an honest discussion of why these things came out of this thing called hip hop came
Right.
out. It was out of the degradation of a people. It was out of destruction, out of mayhem, out
Right.
of unemployment. There is no elders. There wasn't elders there. So when they say broken glass everywhere, this is exactly what they are describing. They had no protection. They had to fend for themselves as our youngers, as our youth teachers, they had to get it out the mud.
Mm-hmm.
And this is why that there isn't uh the elders there, because they didn't, they kind of didn't understand. So we moving from uh Quincy Jones and some of these older artists who learn how to play the piano, learn how to play. When you listen to piano lessons, it's Thelonious Monk, or you listen to um, them talk about learning how to play piano or getting classes or being a part of these programs. Well, the number one thing was there was no money for the government, so the programs was closed. If you
Right.
listen to the artists of the era, they telling you we had no recreation centers. We didn't have no programs so I can play violin at school, so I can sing at school. We didn't have that. So when you hear Grandmaster Flash talking about his fascination with wheels and things that spin, you understand? Like,
Yeah.
they went without, so they had to create things, via their imagination. So the elder part was never really a part of hip hop because it was a direct response to the social economic climate that had happened here in the United States during that time period.
Oh, yes, sir. I want to play something for you, for the brothers, because I think this will. I mean, I know we've all seen it, and I hate this shit. Maybe you all feel different, but I think this is one of the things that weaken. And I'm gonna speak to what's on the screen as well as what's being said. So I'm gonna share my screen with you guys, and I want you to check it out. All right, can y'all see it? Oh, there go my volume. Give me.
I can't see anything.
Oh, it's playing? I thought you just said that there's no audio or visual.
You're not getting it?
No.
No.
Okay, hold on.
No.
Okay, let me see. So let me ask you guys. Can you see it now?
Nothing.
No, sir.
No.
I wonder why I'm having a problem. This is, I don't know. So you all weren't getting it?
No.
Nothing.
No, I wonder why. Give me a second here, because I'm able to do it any other time.
Black hole of media.
Yeah, no, it might
One
be.
way.
Let me see. Okay, that's what it was. Okay, here we go. So here we go.
All I know that works in the world is a relationship.
Yes, right.
Okay, that's all that's going to work. It takes two people to have a relationship.
Yeah, but the
if you don't
relationship.
have a dream, fake it.
But the relationship, you can't fake a dream.
You got to fake it because we don't have dreams these days. How the hell can you have a dream? For what?
Well, it isn't.
So everybody's jiving, but let's jive on that level.
This is.
If I loved you, I can't lie to you.
Of course you can lie to me, and you will. If you love me and you're going off with Maddie someplace, you're lying to me. Because what the hell do I care about the truth? I care if you're there. But Billie Holiday say, hush now, don't explain.
All right, I accept that.
Of course
All right,
you'll lie to me because I don't even want to care. What does the truth matter? And why are you going to be truthful with me when you lie to everybody else? You lied when you smiled at that cracker down the job, right? Lie to me, smile. Treat me the same way you would treat him.
I can't treat
You
you the way I
must.
treat him.
You must. Because I've caught the frowns and the anger. He's happy with you. Of course he doesn't know you're unhappy. You grin at him all day long. You come home and I catch hell because I love you. I get least of you. I get the very minimum. And I'm saying, fake it with me.
All right. So
Let me say this. Let me say this.
Go ahead, brother.
Listen, I think we should not touch this without a woman on this show.
Okay.
Because I think this shit is gonna seem absurd to us, but having conversations with my mom and like as a young man, when my mother would tell me at 12 years old, like everything with a woman is how she feels.
Yeah,
I think we gotta give, because that's ludicrous to me. But,
it is.
But I don't want to say that because I get it hard. Like
No, let me say. I'm gonna say it's ludicrous because you're talking to. I'm gonna say it's ludicrous because she's talking to a gay man about lying to her.
But let's just take the context.
Yeah.
Let's take because I knew that was coming. But let's take the context, and I don't think we should touch it because we're not women, and we might be looking at this perspective. It might be nuances in this perspective that we clearly don't understand.
Yeah.
I agree. Because when she was talking about when she was talking, I'm already like, what the fuck? I'm already, what I'm saying? Just like I'm arguing with my lady, like, what the, but the way she brought her point home, it does make sense it could make sense from a certain perspective that women have. And I would rather us have a woman on the show to school us and break that down for us before we decide to just tear it up.
No.
You know what I'm saying? In all fairness.
Yes. No, I agree with that. But the reason I was using that is when I said, our black elderly men disrespected. I think it does come from the faking, the years of faking, the years of coming home to lie to them, taking that to heart, doing those things, coming home saying things are gonna be okay, or pretending that he's okay, and not saying what it is that it is that's bothering him, what it is that he's concerned with, trying to make sure that he appeases her. We coming, not saying, look, don't take this deal from the government. I'm gonna take care. You don't, accepting the bullshit. So I just think that this is what we're looking at, is a result of that maiming of black male pride. It had capitulated itself, surrendered, and acquiesced to the whims of women and society at large. But that's just my take on it. No, I just wanted to bring that up, man, because that was something I really wanted us to actually deal with and touch on. I do want us to deal with women on the panel. No. I want to, I'm going to take that, your suggestion, brother, because I think that is a beautiful way to do that. I mean, I think it's just, I ain't going to say I think it's a beautiful way. I just think it's the right way to do it, but in the honest way to do it. So I agree with you.
Okay.
I agree with you. I totally agree with you. If you have something you want to add about it, brother, please, I want to hear a little bit more, if you had something else to say to it.
No, I actually don't. I just think that that's something that we would have to. It'll be sort of like us speaking to a brother who speaks a different language,
Yeah.
and we don't have a translator.
Right. Trying to.
You know what I'm saying? And we don't have a translator. You know what I'm saying? We speaking from our perspective, because we can see that we might have common problems or even a common interest, but we come at it from this perspective and they come at it from a different perspective. And I don't want to be disingenuous or on because I'm completely biased. I'm 100%, like, that doesn't make any sense to me as a man. You know what I'm saying? But I just want to maybe kind of like when Karis was on the show. Remember how she, how she explained certain things, and it was kind of like she was teaching us all.
Yeah.
I think that can be one of those moments, and instead of us actually debating, or they can. It don't have to be a right or wrong thing. It could be a learning thing for us.
What is that, y'all? I'm hearing something. Is that you, Doc?
That's Riz. He'd be kidnapping.
Yeah, kidnap somebody. He look like he do some shit like that. No, look at his beard. Blue beard and shit. No, shit. So
pelvic hair, nigga. That's what
it look like what's that? Teddy Pendergrass, don't it? It's like from down here look like Teddy Pendergrass just left that trend.
I'm telling you, man, T look like that orangutan in Planet of the Apes, man. Y'all seen it?
No, I ain't seen the new. Is the new one good?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
It's pretty good. No, man.
Okay, Caesar.
No, T looked like the damn cowardly lion from the Wiz.
Fleetwood Cooperville. He look like Fleetwood Cooperville.
Hell yeah.
My mama said Fleetwood Cooperville. Mama had high hopes. That's what it is.
I'm gonna let y'all have all of
straight up and down, all the way to the ground.
Mama had high hopes.
Well, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, just to get us back on task here. No, so with since we picking on Mr. T, we lost Dr. I guess go jump back in, but soon. Mr. T,
was good
as a father and looking at our young ladies, because all of us on here have daughters. As a father, what do you think or what do you know is the proper way? Because I see a lot of young women dealing with men, but they're not dealing with them. They're not interacting with the men in the proper way. They like I said, they have this disdain, this intense um, 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 interactions. Whenever when there's an elderly man around, they have this frown on their face. How would a father of your ilk teach your daughter to interact with elders, period, but elderly men? Not in the sense, because I know when we say that, everything's so sensitive now. We say that,
Yeah.
we think there's some type of child molestation going on. No, we're not talking about no shit like that. We're talking about interacting with them, like say maybe at school, or if they run into them at a business or something like that. Run into a business owner. How can we teach our daughters to interact with elderly men properly?
I teach my daughters to interact with them the same way that they would with me. Give them the same respect that you give your dad. Just understand that they are not your father.
Right.
It's simple for me. Hell, y'all know my children.
Yep.
They gonna treat you like they treat me, with that same respect, because
Yes,
they
sir.
understand that you gonna represent me the way I say represent me. Not the way.
Right. Riz, what you got, brother?
It's the same thing as Mr. T said, just ultimate respect at all the time. Especially with my family and my wife coming from a different culture, she doesn't call anybody that's older than her by their first name without putting a prefix on it first. It's like, even when
Yeah.
she was like Uncle
Uncle
Adisa, you know
Lamar.
what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
Just like all my kids call you, give you that respect. And it's always been that way. Even though we started out young, it was always respect. And that's what I got from my dad. You don't call anybody by their first name without putting a title on it.
I know.
You respect their station. If it's any issue, I'll address it. I was telling my son that earlier today. Just like I'm watching you, I'm watching them. I'm not going to put you in a position where you're unsafe around some people that you don't need to be around. So you need to be respectful at all times. If it's a problem, I'll get it. I got it. I'll handle it.
Mm-hmm. Hold on, Doctor. Okay, Doctor, you on stage. We, how do you, as a former teacher, brother, how did you help your younger female students to relate to you and handle you?
That was, you have to understand that was one of the most humbling experiences, because like I said, we talk about our activism all the time, the things that we were doing with young men and different, different things like that. But actually going into the schools, um, the love and the attention that was needed um, from a man in terms of just masculinity and no perversion was humbling, because you don't want to be put yourself in a position to where you could be accused of something perverted, brother.
Right.
That's not something that you want to do.
Right.
And so which I was ultimately accused of anyway. But I'm gonna answer the question, but I want to just give a story.
Go ahead, please.
So I would like I told you, I played basketball with the students. If they was rapping, I rap with them. If they talked about sports, I talked about sports with them. And that's the example that Riz and T is saying about being there. That was my way. That was my way of doing it. That was my way of like letting the young fellas know, like, I'm here and I'm able to be touched. And that garnered a sense of respect, a sense of trust, right? Never, even though I have daughters, never dawned on me the fact that female students needed a certain type of attention from men. right?
Yes.
So one day I'm elbowing the boys, I punch them in the stomach, the same games that we played in school as teenage students. You see Reds walking down the hallway, you punch them in the stomach and run, or throw something at them in the hallway or whatever. I'm doing that with the dudes. Well,
Right.
I remember I would like there was a way you had to leave my class, and every young man that left my class left with a punch to the gut. When you was going to the next class, they'd be like, "Man, we gotta walk out the door, man. We gotta get punched in the gut."
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that was a constant reminder to, be orderly and be on task, and be proactive. They thinking about the next move, because they had to go out the door.
Right.
So, I gave him a punch to the gut, right? And the females, the young ladies, they see me. We talked. We had real conversations, and those relationships started to evolve at a level at which I really didn't think it was moving. I was just like, I'm Baba J.
Right.
Then they were like, "Baba J, give me a hug," and I give them a hug. And a hug was their exit ticket to get out. Well, we had a staff meeting. In that staff meeting, it came up that my behavior with the female students was inappropriate.
Okay.
So for the exit, I still punched the boys and I started to dap the girls.
Okay.
Right? 2 days later, there's 2 students of mine came to my classroom. And they said, "Well, Baba J, can we talk to you?" I said, "Yeah, come on in. Shut the door." So they shut the door. Because you have to realize, man, like it was female students who were like 11th graders coming to me about coming on their menstrual cycles. That's how I don't know what. You know what I'm saying? Like that was the type of relationships that I was developing with them. But these 2 students came to my class and they asked me about my behavior as it relates to their exit ticket to get out of the class. And so I informed them about what was being said, how things look, and tried to ask them to look at it from a administrator's perspective.
Okay.
And they just, not that they couldn't do it, they described to me that they would not do it. And what one of the little girls said to me was, "You don't know what your hug do for us." And it floored me. You don't know what that do for us. Like I'm dealing with A, B, C, D, E, and F, and that hug alone, and that conversation with you alone makes me feel. And I'm in a class, and what I'm realizing is the perversion of what's going on in our society has even seeped into me.
Yes.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I said, okay, all right. Because that was the reason I went to teach in the first place. And so I said, "Give me mine." And I told the principal, "You can fire me."
Yeah.
Because that's what I'm going to do. So the reason I brought that story up is because there is a reality of that perversion, especially given in today's society, because it doesn't seem like we respect children. We're trying to be their friends. We're trying to get along with them. And they need that discipline. They need that structure, and they need that order.
Absolutely.
When I hear T and Riz talk, you have to understand what's happening here. Riz said we came up together. That means that he has a unwavering respect and trust for you. Right? He said, "God know my daughters." He has that respect from us,
That's right.
right? Now, and y'all, y'all know I got the gooch as a daughter. I got the gooch, man. Like, it's really hard, man. You know, with my daughters, and y'all know them. You know, and she loved Lamar. She loved T. T really get on her nerves though. But the point I'm trying to make here, and I know I'm gonna be long-winded, is it seems to be a reoccurring theme. There isn't a community.
Yeah.
So there is a disconnect. So when I'm talking to my daughter, I'm speaking from the standpoint of protection, right? And correction, making sure that you understand what masculine energy is, right? What safety looks like, what to look for to place your trust in.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Now, if we had this community, because we once did in the height of the crack era, a 9-year-old could walk to the store.
You better know it.
A 9-year-old
Hair on their
could
head.
walk to the store and it wouldn't be a follicle touched, because when it came to the children, it was all respect.
That's right.
I mean, me and bro could be at odds. When I see you, I'm putting a bullet in your head. When I see you,
Right.
but right now your daughter here. Right now your daughter here. I'll catch you next time. You know,
That's right.
sort of like that. It was, you know, you hear some of the guys say it used to be rules. No, it used to be a sort of community.
Yeah.
That's what it used to be. It didn't have to be Black Wall Street. You understand what I'm saying? But there was some remnants of a community. Nobody's talking back to Miss Prince. Miss Prince is the crazy cat lady. Yeah, okay. Right? But you won't talk
Right.
back to Miss Prince.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? You'll get hurt for talking back to Miss Prince like that.
Sure will.
Miss Prince can be dead wrong, but she always right.
She always right.
So what I'm saying is we can talk about those things that that we would try to impart or teach into our daughters as the characteristics of what to look for as to deal with our male elders. But it's hard if we don't have the community.
That's right.
It's
Absolutely.
impossible.
You see what I'm saying? So like bro, no, I got into it with my daughter's friend's stepfather. Whoever the guy was. Well, you know, I hope, you know, because I don't think Asha knows this, but whatever. When I seen the guy and I'm like, hey man, don't blow your horn for my motherfucking daughter to come out the house again. You understand? Because when I come pick your daughter up, I get out. I grab her bags. Right? So much to the point what shook me to my core was when I heard my daughter tell her friend, don't be alarmed. My dad is going to get out the car and grab your bags. Do you understand?
Yeah.
You understand? That it's not even precedent. It's not even a part of the rule anymore. So it's going to be tough, you know, because there isn't that sense of camaraderie, connection, and community. That's all I'm saying. The point, I'm being long-winded, but the point I'm saying in everything from the hip hop, there isn't a community.
No, you're absolutely right.
You know what I'm saying? So it'll be hard to do that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Absolutely.
It's crazy that you brought that up.
Go ahead, bro. I'm sorry.
No, I'm just saying it's crazy you brought that up because, you know, you wouldn't do that in front of somebody's daughter or the elders. Like something we missed in the movie Menace to Society, you had the character Old Dog. who was
Oh yeah,
a menacing sociopath who
I know
never
exactly
cursed
where
in
you're
front
going,
of
brother.
adults.
Yep.
You know, even when he was about to curse at an adult, he would catch himself and straighten up. That was just something you could
Mhm.
not and would not
You
do
just
at
wouldn't
that time.
do. Yeah. That was something we wouldn't do. I think we began to lose that a little bit late in the 90s, I would say. You had some,
Yeah,
you
it
know,
was the 90s. Yeah.
yeah, you had some people who would, you know, we wanted to be extra hard or extra tough. We called it keeping it real. You know what I mean? When, you know, you had gangsters, you know, would walk in, you know, like you said, you know, dude, they gonna pop is right there, you know, but he remove his hat, and because you see my man mother or somebody else's mother, how you doing, Mrs. Latham? How you doing? You know, annoying, like, man, I'm kill you. You know what I mean? You had that thing that, you know, that respect there, man. It's something that we totally lost. Last thing, last point. I sort of want to talk about with the development now that we are. Am I the only grandfather on here? I'm the only
Yes.
grandfather.
Yeah, man.
Okay, cool.
Everybody
All right.
didn't 7.
I'm sorry.
Everybody didn't start making babies at 7, bro. Like,
Well, I actually started first, but you know,
Yeah,
my
he was
son
the
lost
first
his
one.
way.
Yeah, he said son lost his way. Um, damn. Wait, let me get my thought back. You just threw me for a loop when you said that, right? Shit. God. Okay. Now that we are, so I think, you know, we all spoke to it. So I think what I think we all have spoken to it in some form or another. Because I am a grandfather, and I have a granddaughter.
Oh, she's just gorgeous, man. God,
Oh man,
girl.
Yeah, she
she's funny, man. She was over here Monday, man, and you know, for the holiday, man, she couldn't get my attention. She wanted to talk to me, but a little egg, like a little, it was just crazy. And she could call my name, Granddaddy. I was like, yeah, what's up? She's like, I'm calling you. So it was funny. She wanted, but no, since I think we all be, I'm a grandfather now, but I believe that we all be grandfathers sooner or later. What is it that? Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and go with this. How can we start to now, you know, putting ourselves back in position as the grandfathers, as the elders, to actually, like Jay said, you know, to actually put ourselves in position to be elders? What is it that we should start doing? Let me start off with this point here. Pandemic, Jay, Doc, was it? We go pick up some bean pies, go to the store. That was during the pandemic, am I right?
No, you see now.
What?
You are senile, man. You need help. No, that ain't even close. I was
his grandfather.
no, brother.
What?
That's before pandemic.
No, this was when I was in my apartment, brother. That was during the pandemic. Or was that's what I'm
Brother.
saying, because I didn't move into my apartment till the pandemic. I'm trying to think, was it after?
Pandemic. I'm in Georgia, brother. I wasn't living in Georgia.
No,
Was I?
this one you were up here. You were up here
Oh,
visiting.
I was up. Okay, all right. Then I might be the one. See now, you're right.
Yeah,
You're
you were
right.
up
You
here
are right.
visiting. You were up here
Yes, sir.
visiting. Yeah,
Yes,
you
sir.
were still in Georgia. Yeah.
Okay.
I forgot what you were up here for. But you
I
were
know
up
you
here,
were.
and so one day, me and the brother decide, you know, he's like, man, you know, can we, you know, when kids a bean pie? So I called the brother, you know what I'm saying? I don't know how much, you know, Doc enjoyed the bean pie, but it was a decent bean pie. It wasn't the
It was
best, but
decent. It wasn't Muhammad. It wasn't.
yeah,
It wasn't that. But
yeah, but it was decent. So we go to the gas station because it's over in where UNT in the same area that UNT were in, right? Once living there, I think so. We go to the gas station over there, and we trying to get in. There's a bunch of people trying to get in, and Doc and I talk. We walk up, and not knowing what's going on. And we see that they got this young brother holed up inside the inside the gas station. They won't let him out because apparently he's still in a beer or something. Or pop. He has something in his pants leg. And Doc and I went to
It was
work.
uproar. It was
Yeah.
outside because they had them locked in. And outside they banging on the
glass,
the windows, the glass, trying to get in there. People are assembling outside of it. It's like going crazy.
Yeah. And so what it was like Doc and I we go to work, and I'm bring this to what to the point I'm trying to make. So we go out and we get to working and we get to talking and notice that the guy is Arab, and I asked him, was he Muslim, and he said yeah, and so I give him the greetings, and now Doc is doing crowd control.
Right.
Doc is doing crowd control right now. So I'm talking to my man, and so we get through to my man. I explained to him, in the Quran how it's, if a thief takes something from you, if he returns it, then he has to be forgiven. That's just Quranic law. You know what I'm saying? There's no punishment once he gives you back whatever he has taken or something that is of that value, right? So I'm talking to the guy, and you could just see the guy kind of roll his eyes. He said, all right. So they let us in. When we get in,
they let you in because you had to talk to the brother.
They let me in, so I had to talk to the little brother. So I go in there and I talk to the little brother, and I say, little brother, whatever it is, give it to me. I say, he's gonna let you go. And he ain't believe me if I said, just give it to me. So he gives it to me. Everything kind of like relaxes, right? No. They start letting people in. And but what was crazy was it was the kids that were with him, they had like guns on them.
Yeah.
So it was like they pulled up, they had guns on them. And so we get the guy out the store. He jumps on the bike with these guys right while they're pulling off. The police pull right up right before they missed. And the girl, and it was something the girl was like she said, God sent these guardian angels, and this is how you all act. You know what I'm saying? She was kind of like yelling at them while they were leaving. You know what I'm saying? But it was just that we saw a need, in the community. And Rob, you served the community as well. You know what I'm saying? T, you served the community coaching as well. And I know we all have come into these situations or circumstances where we had to add ourselves to bring peace. Yeah, to bring peace and bring order, back to the circumstances, right? So I'm asking, what is it that you all believe? And this is not for us, but it's for the people that's listening. Where can we start to infuse the black grandfather, the black authority figure, back into to rebuild, and I'm saying in place to rebuild and restart and reboot this black community. Riz.
Hold on, let me go first because I got it. I'm gonna have to shake. I'm gonna have to shake a move.
Okay.
I think you just gave the example. We've been giving examples all night.
Right.
Bro said being there in the moment, right?
Right.
Making ourselves available and just having an understanding. That's what Riz and T were saying.
Right.
Have an understanding without criticism first, without judgment first, just being there, right? Because being there, becoming empathetic, and establishing relationships.
Yes,
How
sir.
many relationships have you established being a barber?
Tons.
How do those young men and some women, my mother love you.
Yes, sir.
My mother love you. She go get a haircut from me. She always
Right.
gotta feel like she tell them, tell like I got my haircut
Telling
by
on you to me.
yeah, I'll be
I was
but
telling on you.
but you like you there. You
Right.
understand what I'm saying? You're there. T is telling me we was talking about T told somebody, he say, hey man, you can't build a community if you won't be a part of a community.
Right.
That's what my brother just said earlier this week, bro. He was letting somebody use the what was that you was letting somebody use, bro?
His bra.
The general.
You got one more, dog. You got one more.
but his generator, I believe, is what it was. And he said, yo, you can't build a community if you don't want to be a part of one.
Right.
Like one thing my brother do, man, he will establish a relationship. He will just build, like, sit there in the crib, move there in the community, and a tree fell on somebody's house. Well, I gotta go get the chainsaw.
Mm.
Then I said, well, what I owe you, man? I said, you don't owe me nothing.
Mm.
You don't owe me nothing. I seen a need and I could be helpful. Hopefully
There you
one
go.
day you can help me. And there's the seed.
There it
And
is.
that same type of responsibility, the same type of proactiveness and activeness is the same way we can establish that with the youth. It's the exact same thing.
Yes, sir.
It's being able to show the young men how to cultivate and how to add to their masculinity in a healthy way. So me doing the stuff that I do, man, I don't do it because I feel like I'm going to get something out of it. I do it because this is who I am. This is what my community needs.
Right.
And I want to make sure that wherever I set foot, I make an impression.
Mm.
That impression is going to epitomize my integrity. So when those who follow me, that come from me, they'll get the same respect from the community.
Yes, sir.
So if we get to a place where we actually respect each other again, we'll be all right. Because now we're going to have a community. Because there's a respect and it's mutual.
Yes, sir. Riz, what you got, man?
I would say the same thing, but it starts at the beginning, right? We talk about community, but it starts at the home. Be a loving husband to your wife in front of your children. Allow them to see that. Be a loving man to your wife. That's the best lesson you can ever give your son.
Right.
Showing him how to treat his woman. Best lesson you can give your daughter. Then be the best brother to your community. You know what I'm saying? Be the best neighbor you can. If you can pull those things off, we can do anything after that. Because just like Doc was saying, being involved and being a part of the community means so much, man. And I seen my dad do it with y'all brothers as we came up.
Yeah.
It was like you come over to the house like, hey man, your dad cooking, he on the grill. Can we get some?
Get
Hey
some?
dad, can they get some? He was like, hey,
Wait.
give them whatever they want.
Yep.
Eat as much as you want, son. And now we all middle-aged and you can still call my parents at any time. They receive like, hey, that's my son right there. Hey, son. Like I'm talking like, who you talking to? I'm talking to Adisa. Hey, son. Like my conversation don't matter. It don't matter anymore.
Yeah.
Hey, son. They taking the phone. Or hey, I'm gonna call you. So, and I think that's just what it is, man. Just being a part, and now being a father and being involved with my kids' extracurriculars and getting involved with their teammates and their friends and their classmates. And now I see like people that I barely even knew, like, hey, do you mind picking up my son? I'll be at work. Like, no, I don't mind. I got it.
No,
You know,
right.
now I got these little fellas coming through. They talk to me like, hey, you know, Mr. Riz, what's happening, man? Or Mr. Riz, did you see me? I see him on social media. I had to clean up my social media because of them. I'm following them. They
Yeah.
follow me. So I got to get rid of stuff. So,
Yeah.
yeah, start at the beginning. Be a good husband to your wife. Be a good father to your children. Be a good brother to your community, your neighborhood, and try to be a father to the fatherless, man.
Yes.
And that even goes for at work because I've been able to go start at different companies and have positions, and I rapidly ascend. Not because I'm smart, but because I'm a hard worker, or because I do better than everybody else. It's because I can identify young people within that company, empower them to do their job, and we can
Right.
always be more productive. I can find a young cat that's in his 20s and empower him to do his job to show him that there's another way other than being on the streets. And next thing you know, this dude is getting promoted.
Right.
You know, and that goes to his children, that goes to his family. And that's some of the best work I've ever done is just going to a place and investing in the people that's there. And I've
Yeah.
been productive in that way.
And that reminds me of like recently I got a call from one of the kids. I think you might remember him. His name was Jalen.
Yeah. I tall, dark skin.
No, the light skinned kid.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
This kid was 8th grade, 7th grade, playing football. Quit the team. And I told him, I said, man, you can't come back unless you bring something to the table. So the kid came back that summer with his mom, Miss Billings. I'll never forget, you know, her or Jalen. But anyway, this kid calls me, man, just recently. Like, Coach, I did it. I said, what you do? He said, man, I graduated from college on scholarship, and I just got a good job, and I'm able to get my mother out of the situation that she was in, and I just wanted to thank you. I'm like, what you thanking me for, dude? What are you thanking me for? He's like, because without you, I wouldn't have been here. I said, nah, that's not me. All I did was gave you an opportunity to choose yourself. And I think that's the most important thing that we can do is make sure we give the opportunities to the youth. Because us old cats, we ain't about to change. You know what I'm saying? They say it's hard to teach an old dog new tricks. I ain't lying. But those young cats, to give them the opportunity to see a perspective where they actually can win.
Yeah.
That is the key. That being passed on to their generation, you know, their offspring, and so on and so forth. And that's the way. History is only going to do one thing, and that's repeat itself.
Yeah.
We all know that.
Yeah. Yes, sir. No, and that just brings me to I must have had an out of body experience talking to this brother because I see him and he got these long dreadlocks, right? And I said, man, I ain't seen you since you were a kid, man. How you been? You know, told me he had a couple kids, and I said, oh, really, man? You know, he said, yeah, I'm married. Now I think he's like 28, you know, and he like 28 years old. Or 29 or something like that. And he was like, yeah, man, I got married. I remember what you told me when I was a little boy. And I said, damn, what? So this had to be like before 2005 or just at 2000. Well, between 2005 and 2009, I'm sorry. So this kid, like, no, he's 33. I said he was 29. He's 33. I said, you married? You know, he said, I got all his children with her. He said, I remember what you told me when I was a kid. And I ain't even ask him what I said. All I said to him was like, man, brother, I must have had an out-of-body experience, or God had a message for you that he wanted me to give you through me, because I'd have been married 3 times, man. I said, you've been married once and you got all your children. I said, I got all your children with one woman. I said, I got 8 kids with 6 women. You know what I'm saying? And so he goes, damn, man. I say, I don't know what I told you, brother. I say, but I'm glad you listened, because that it saves you a world of trouble. You know what I'm saying? Because it could have been totally like a shitstorm for this young brother, man. But whatever I said to him, kept him out the shitstorm. So, I thank God for that, right? But Yeah, so like T, you started this, man. We're gonna go ahead and close this out with the closing comments. So T, you want to go first or you want to go last?
Don't matter, man.
Don't matter.
Don't matter.
All right, Riz, you take it first. I take it second. We let T close us out.
All right. I'll just say, this has just been an excellent opportunity. First of all, I see this podcast has just been a platform for people to just, if nothing else, just express themselves and unload a lot of things that you wouldn't get to do otherwise. But just on topic, value your elders, value the men in your life. Even if they're not perfect, don't judge the vessel. Just take the truth for what it is. Keep pushing, keep listening, and keep coming back. As long as you're in the game, you can always get a chance to win. That's all I got for today.
And I'm gonna say this, piggybacking off of what Mr. T said about when you lay your footprint, make an impression. Just make sure that your footprint goes deep enough to make an indention as well. And so to show that you're establishing your place in that community. Go ahead, Mr. T.
So we all understand that we are the people. We have to make a choice to be for the people.
Yes, sir. Yes,
It's
sir.
just that simple. If we choose us, we win.
Period.
Every last one of these brothers on this platform, and anybody in like mine.
Yes, sir.
That's
Yes,
it.
sir. That's it.
That's simple.
All right. Thank you, man. I thank you, Riz. Thank you, Mr. T. Thanks to Dr. E. He had to go. So we close this thing out, fellas. People, this has been the Reconnect. We appreciate y'all. Talk to y'all later. Peace.
Peace.